So we started, we're live. Okay. So hi guys. Today I'm gonna answer your questions about ancient Egypt. It's a lot of questions you sending me, and I know you watch me. So we're talking about ancient Egypt and everything what's linked to ancient Egypt. And let's go see what questions you have for me. So let me see what we have here. So what's the first question? Well, so what made you fall in love with ancient Egypt? Well, what made me fall in love with ancient Egypt? It's a good question, because ancient Egypt and the ancient Egypt civilization is the first big real civilization on our planet, and this is very important. And my interest was how and why it became possible um, to begin civilization exactly at this spot here in Egypt. Why? Because there is now regions on the planet where the civilization could be like in Mesopotamia, in Mediterranean, in somewhere in Middle Asia. Also, there is some rivers and almost the same condition like in Egypt, but nowhere we can see a huge state with centralized government, and we only see city-states like small policies, like ancient Greece policies, but it was never united state like in Egypt. And it's not only the state, it's culture, it's language, it's a lot of stuff. And it's united religion with many gods, but united in something one. And its rules and its laws and everything uh, first was in Egypt. And my question was why it's happened exactly over there. What's the secret? So my interest was in the deepest time of history. That's why I came to Egypt many years ago, like more than 20 years ago, and started to learn about Egyptian civilization. And a little bit later, I started my researches about the ancient time, pre-dynastic time, and I'm here. I'm still here for more than 20 years. I collaborate with a lot of people who also researches in Egypt. So this is a big part of my life. That's why I think it's important for every person to know their roots. And it's ancient Egypt. It's the root of whole Western civilization, and it's really important. So what is the next question? Is, let's see. I can't see no more questions. So anybody here, you can ask something. I'm gonna tell something interesting. No, nothing. So let me tell you one about where Egypt civilization started. So it was the main city. It was Abydos, now Abydos. It was ancient city of Tinis, and Abydos is the necropolis of Tinis. And the second place was city of Nehen. It's not far. It's like around 50 miles to each hour. And it was two small state. Uh, it was two small city-state around like 5,500 years ago. So it's really first a human civilization in the world. It was before Mesopotamia, and it was already two religious conceptions. I can't see the questions. Something, but I can't really understand what you're asking me for. So with Abydos, we have the war, Abydos and Nehen, and Abydos won this war, and from this time, first pharaoh of ancient Egypt was from Abydos, and we started expansion towards the north, towards Delta, Nile Delta, and we collected all lands. It's like a little bit more than 30 nomes, like 30 regions in Egypt. And little by little, these dynasties from Abydos, they collected all these regions to United State. It started, how we know, it's 30 dynasties, and it was first dynasty which started this process, and around the end of second dynasty, whole Egypt was united to one state, and we know history of Egypt from this time, like the history of United Egypt state. And it was all the time, of course, the territory was expanded, or sometimes we lose something, but in general, it was the same Egypt like we know now. In the Nile River valley, before the Nubia, and at north part, it's on the Mediterranean Sea. So, do we have any questions or no? Let me ask. Nikita, do we have any more questions or no?
I think yes. Have you
I don't
ever
see any more
worked on?
questions. So, okay, let me tell you more about this Abydos. Abydos is sacred place of ancient Egypt because first dynasties of Egyptian kings, pharaohs, was from Abydos. And also, the most important is Abydos is the central, the most important religious place in Egypt, sacred place, because Osiris and Isis, they were from Abydos, like I believe. Different specialists and scientists who researching this topic about Osiris, they have different opinions. But like for me, for many years of research, my conclusion, Osiris was from Abydos, and as we know, we have a tomb of Osiris in Abydos. It's Osirian. This is what we're researching the most because it's connected to a great temple of Seti, but still we believe it's more ancient construction, and it's underground now, but I believe it was built on the ground. When it was built, the level of the ground was lower than now, and it was some temple uh, constructed on the ground. And I don't know if this structure was originally belonged to Osiris, but in later time we know it like Osiris tomb or symbolic Osiris tomb. Why? Because it's a lot of inscription on the wall of this structure telling us the story about Osiris. And this is the story like the power of the king was restored. And it was based on the story of Osiris, that's why. But all these inscriptions they were made in New Kingdom, not in the ancient time. And of course, it's for me like it's mostly fairy tale, but it still keeps something from the ancient knowledge, of course, because every fairy tale has some pieces of truth inside it. And there is no any inscription of first dynasties or pre-dynastic time in Assyrian. Also, it's a lot of sacred spots in Abydos, the places where Osiris was worshipped by people. It was a huge altar of Osiris over there, and it was like flame altar where people were making sacrifice. Like it wasn't nothing like killing animals or something. They just bringing a little jars of water or flowers or something maybe tasty. So it wasn't looking. It didn't look like cults on Middle East. And now we have millions and millions and millions potteries over there by this place. So for thousands and thousands years, people were coming there and we were bringing something to Osiris. That's why this place, Abydos, is like for me the most important place in Egypt to find the truth about our origination. Also, Abydos itself is only necropolis of city of Tinis. Where city of Tinis was located, we don't know. It's not excavated yet, but it's somewhere around maybe a mile or two from actual Abydos necropolis. But we're gonna uncover it in the future. So this is why I came to Egypt, and it holds me for more than 20 years. There is also a lot of questions about pyramids in Giza, but it looks like it's a little bit different, and I have my own theory about this. I don't know if we want to talk about this right now. I think right now is Osiris and Abydos. What's also interesting in Abydos, it has the tombs of Middle Kingdom, and like for me, Middle Kingdom is first big and like real kingdom of ancient Egypt, and is first real kingdom in whole world, because you know before in first dynasties it was very weak power, and still it wasn't big huge economy. It was this society was only starting. It was agricultural, completely agricultural, and during the Middle Kingdom, big economy started, big infrastructure project, huge channels like 500-mile channel from Aswan to Fayum. It all was made during Middle Kingdom. It was a couple huge cities in Fayum Oasis, but still these kings of Middle Kingdom, like Amenemhets and Senusserts, they preferred to be buried in Abydos. So we have tombs of Senusert in Abydos, and this unique structure in the rock, underneath the rock. It looks kind of familiar and similar, like Pharaoh tombs in King's Valley in Luxor, but it's structured completely different. It's underground structure, not just digged in the rock, and it has construction blocks inside. So we built it. It was way more difficult when Pharaoh tombs and King's Valley, and it has a unique architecture, never repeated. So these kings of Middle Kingdom, they also believed what is most sacred place in Egypt, and they preferred to do their stuff over there. And we have a lot of artifacts, a lot of evidence of Osiris cult in Abydos from Middle Kingdom too. So this legend, this myth of Osiris, it was very strong. It was main thing in ancient Egyptian religion, because Egyptian religion, gods, it's like nature forces, wind, earth, sky, water, something like this. And only these four, Osiris, Isis, Nephthys, and Set, they were people. They were, I think they were real humans and historical heroes who stayed in Egyptian memory. That's why. And they all connected somehow to Abydos. Not only Abydos, Nehen, I say it was second city, Nehen. It was like first civil war in human history between Abydos and Nehen. And people associate Nehen with Set place. But still, we know a lot of kings and pharaohs who was named as Set, like Set Peripsen in the second dynasty, Set Nacht in New Kingdom already, and it's a lot of, not only Hor. So every Egyptian king is Horus. Horus is the son of Osiris. So every Egyptian pharaoh is a son of Osiris. This is the basement of king's power in ancient Egypt. But there are a few pharaohs who prefer to be Set, not Horus. So the evidence of this ancient civil war, you can find them in Egyptian tradition through all dynasties, almost till Ptolemaic time. Okay, I guess we maybe stop already because I don't see no questions. I'm only talking, and it's first time. Let's see how it's gonna work, and we're gonna do more if it's gonna be interested by people. Okay, thank you.